Jiu-Jitsu nerds, we are currently being joined by the man that punched his ticket to CJI 2 through that Australasia Misfits team. It is, rumor has it, the pound for pound nicest guy at B Team, Declan Moody. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I don't know who started those rumors, but they must be a liar.
Well, as long as you weren't the guy that hired the one announcer at Australasia, we can keep you as nicest guy.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't me.
When it comes to all the action that we saw at Australasia, you took home that sub-meta bonus for having the most submissions of that tournament. So when you were coming in, were you really just hungry to have the performance that you did, considering you traveled so far to get the job done?
Yeah, seeing as they made me travel all that way, I was pretty determined to prove a point, you know.
And I know that a lot of the hype has been with your passing, and that you've said a lot of the people at B Team have really contributed to that growth. So who are some of the people that have helped elevate your game in that aspect?
I'll always credit Joe Chen for that. You know, he's definitely been the biggest influence, especially on the passing. Obviously, everyone else had input. Nikki Ryan, a lot of the north-south stuff I do started from him, and then Nikki Rod developed a lot of my chest-to-chest passing, but I'll always credit Joe for really evolving my game there.
And now you've gotten experience performing on the biggest stages of Jiu-Jitsu, WNO, ADCC, AIEGA you've gotten experience at, and now you're going to be able to add CJI to that resume come August 30th and 31st. So what are the emotions surrounding that?
It's good. It's for me, this is all like building experience for when I eventually move into a coaching role. It's like something I want to achieve all these things so that my students in the future and like currently can see that all this is possible, and I can guide them through these experiences because I would have experience there myself.
That's very admirable that you are really focusing on the coaching aspect. And I know that having a coach like Lachlan Giles for this Misfits team has got to give you a lot of confidence going in. I remember when I was interviewing Lachlan Giles, he said, you know, I actually kind of think that the over 99 kilogram division should just not exist, because if you look at some of the winners, most of the winners for the absolute divisions, it's the under 99 kilogram spot that takes that. So what is your thoughts on the way the Australasia team got set out? Because you saw B Team use their wild card for a big guy like Victor Hugo, but on the Australasia side, you guys used it on the smaller side with Fabricio Andre.
Yeah, it's super interesting that Lachlan chose to use that on the 66er because that region, especially Australia and Asia, is so diverse in 66 kilos. We actually tend to be thinner at the higher weight classes. And most people, I think all of us in the CJI trials were either minus 88ers or minus 99ers. So, yeah, especially lacking Nico and Josh Saunders, who are probably the two over guys that are most formidable from that region. It was definitely interesting that he chose a 66 and not a plus 99.
And do you think that'll pay out well? Because I saw Craig said in the last episode that he feels like the strongest Misfits team is Australasia, and we're working with a guard player like Bilal in that over 99 kilogram division. So how confident are you that this Australasia team is going to be the winner of that $1 million?
I think we've got a very good chance. You know, it's like we've got so many exceptional athletes, and all of the guys are super dangerous and super submission orientated. And the pick that Giles made for the 66er is the best pick for a 66er I think you can make. There's no one with a better track record at that weight against bigger guys. So Fabricio Andre is an exceptional pick, I think.
Yeah, and I think he did mention that he did have one wild card pick, but B Team beat him to it. So what is it like for you training at B Team, knowing you're not on their team? Like, how does the dynamic shift, if at all?
It's not changed the dynamic at all, really. All the guys there, this is just one event, you know, so we're all looking to progress and be better long term, not just as one event. Obviously, we all want to win our share of that million, but the guys are still helping me the same as they are the team at B Team, so it's been really, really positive to see that.
And is there any particular matchup at CJI 2 that you were hoping to get?
Give me all the 66ers. That's the plan. Just maintain my run over the 66 kilo champions.
That is definitely one way to look at it. Do you feel like any team in particular is either a weak link or a team that you would want to match up with first?
There's definitely no weak links, you know. Ideally, I just stay away from B Team, put us on the opposite side of the brackets just because of the friendship aspect. I want to take out like as many good grapplers as I can and sort of prove that I am that top level. So give us any team. The New Wave team's solid. The Atos team's going to be stacked. Give us anyone. I think Team Australia's going to prove that the grappling in that region is like the top of the world.
And Jiu-Jitsu is going to places that it's never seen before with these payouts. But is there any part of Declan Moody that feels like he might recommit to his scooter world championship run?
There's probably more money in that, but I'm not sure if my body could withstand it anymore. I don't know if a scooter could withstand my weight anymore.
When did those highlights come about? Like, do we have some highlights of you doing the scooter work at an older age, or was that pure childhood memories?
Yeah, it was definitely primarily the early teen years, but I'm sure I will speak to Craig, see if we can get a ramp down to the pit, and I'll see what we can do there.
We're gonna have to bring the scooter to take advantage of those angled walls. And speaking of which, how do you feel about that? Like, there is now all this talk about the Octobowl happening in UFC, and then we obviously have already known about what the pit can do. So what is your ideas on how you're gonna be able to execute on that?
For me, I think having worked with the guys at M16, it's primarily an MMA gym. So I've worked a lot with the guys in MMA, so I've worked off the walls a lot, and I think the transfer over from the wall to the pit slanted wall is not too great. Some slight adjustments, and we saw that in the trials that I'd probably use the wall better than most of the guys just because I was more familiar.
Well, we cannot wait to see what you do at CJI 2 that is coming up August 30th and 31st. If there is one key to victory for this Australasia Misfits team, what would you say it is?
Key to victory is just, I think strategy is going to be the biggest game changer in this with the quintet format. I think whoever comes in with the best strategy is going to win, just because there's so much high level talent on every team. It's hard to pick a winner.